What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon. MLB DFS video. This is your first look at the Tuesday, August 12th slate. So we've done 10,000 simulations in the background. If you've never been here before, we do 20,000 simulations every single day, but we do 10,000, and then we give you our first look at the slate. So if you have never been here before, hopefully you're in for a treat. We're going to go game by game. We got 3 games early. We got 12 games on the main slate. We're going to look at the pitchers in each game. We're then going to look at the batters we like in those games as well. So we're going to do usually about top 3 to top 5 batters from each team. If we really like a team to stack, we'll talk a little bit more like top 5 or 6 batters from that team. So we're going to go through all of that. We have other we have giveaways, and we also have other segments. So if you've never been here before, you can check the chapters out, but we're going to go through every game. Then we're going to do our matchup tool. So through 10,000 sims, we're going to give you all the batters that the matchup tool likes with a 10 out of 10 matchup rating. After that, we're going to do our Pitches Be Crazy segment, followed by our sports betting segment called Makin, Bacon Bet. So if you've never been here before, buckle up, you're in for a treat. You have 2 ways to win free content from FTA Plus, which is $10 a week. Here's the first way. You got to like this video, you got to be a subscriber to the channel, and you got to leave a comment. You do all 3 of those, and this video right here gets a minimum of 50 likes. You will have a shot at a free week of FTA Plus. So that's a week of all sports, not just MLB. So we've got MLB every day. We've got PGA on Thursdays. We got MMA on Saturdays. And we've got NASCAR on Sundays. If this video gets a minimum of 50 or 100 likes, you'll have a chance at a free month of FTA Plus. 150 likes, a free year. 200 or more likes on the video, a chance at a lifetime pass. And the second way to win, somewhere in this video, there'll be a keyword or a key phrase. Look for it to type it in and have your second shot at a free week. Now, it's been a couple of minutes, if a month or a week or so since we've had the same person win, but we are going to see who the winner or winners are from yesterday's video right now. So even if the keyword is in this first comment, this is just for getting the likes, the minimum of 50 likes. So the winner of the minimum of 50 likes is Makin Kennedy 5835. Congratulations. You know the drill. Please email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com. In the subject line, say you are the 811 video likes winner, and then let me know your username on FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. So the keyword was coffee, but we are still going to re-roll it for coffee. So this is the winner of the keyword, as long as they have that keyword in their comment. There you go, RJ Grossi 81. I think it's been a long time since you've won, if you've won. If not, I'm thinking about somebody else, but congratulations regardless. Please email me, and in the subject line, say you are the 811 keyword winner, and then your username on Fantasy Team Advisors. If you do not have a username, I just need a username, email, and a password. It will get you set up. So in the description of this video, we've got our free Discord. So get in there. We do core plays, top plays. We give advice. People ask questions. They bounce ideas off of each other. We got a great community over there, so make sure you check us out. And on top of that, we have a fantasy football league going on DraftKings. It's $5 a week. The scoring should be changed. If it's not changed, I'm going to have to make a new league, and I'll just invite everyone there. But I want to get everyone in there to see the interest in it. But what it's supposed to be is every week, the top 3 places will pay, depending on the amount of people that are in. And then at the end of the year, the top 3 people that have the most amount of points are going to win content. So the first place, you're going to win every single week that you win. But the most amount of points, first place will be a lifetime pass worth $500. Second place, a yearly pass worth $200. And third place, a monthly pass worth $30. Now, I will be in that as well. So you got to beat me to get the content. So you guys know what to do. So that being said, we are going to use Outlier. The link to sign up is down below, and you will check it out and hopefully have some fun with it. So without further ado, we're going to jump into everything right now, and we are going to look at everything that has to do with this Tuesday slate. So we got the first game. We got the Mariners at let's do the ballpark factors first, because a lot of people look at this. So we've got a weather tab on our cheat sheet, but if you wanted to look at the ballpark factors, here they are right now. Ton of chances for home runs today. The wind, it's hot and humid throughout the United States. The wind is blowing out. We've got American Family Field, Pittsburgh at Milwaukee. They do have a dome that they can open. 38% chance of home runs. Sutter Health Park, Tampa Bay at the Athletics. The wind is blowing out. It's a minor league ballpark. 36% chance of home runs. Guaranteed Rate Field, Detroit at Chicago White Sox. 37% chance of home runs. And the 2 next biggest ones, or 3, Progressive Field, Miami at Cleveland. 28% chance. Yankee Stadium, Minnesota at New York Yankees. 26% chance in Great American Small Park. Philly at Cincy. 26% chance of home runs. So, without further ado, we are going to talk about Seattle Mariners to Baltimore Orioles first off. So we got George Kirby versus Dean Kramer. We've got Kirby, 62 plate appearances, 262 batting average against Baltimore in his career, 24.2 fantasy points in that game. In his career, he has not faced them this year. Dean Kramer is not. George Kirby has faced Baltimore once this year. 0-1 record, 3.6 earned runs per 9. He did give up a ton of hits in that, 14.4 hits per 9, and low strikeouts and a high number of walks there. Now, Baltimore's offense has obviously been lackluster, we could call it. So we'll call it lackluster, but it's been bad. But they've, they aren't hitting like we thought they would. But George Kirby's kind of been that same thing. I mean, he comes in with a 4 ERA. It's a little bit higher there. I don't know if I like him as much. If we look at Baltimore bats against Kirby, you do see Rushman has a home run, Gunnar has a home run, Mountcastle has a home run. So all of those have home runs. And then it breaks it down a little bit further. How do they do against righties? I mean, Gunnar hitting 310. I would use him. I would use Mountcastle. And honestly, depending, I could see Jackson Holiday. I could also see Colton Cowser being in there for you. So that's definitely what I would look at. And then Seattle against Dean Kramer. Mitch Garver has a home run. JP Crawford has a home run. Naylor, Polanco have home runs. So does J-Rod. But Randy Arozarena has 2. So let's break it down to see who hits him better against righties. So you can see JP Crawford, not an ideal. He doesn't have success. I think he has 1 hit against him. But he's got 288 this year batting 288 against righties with 6 home runs. I would use him. I would use Josh Naylor batting 291. I would use Polanco here. I would use Eugenio Suarez. Like, I am looking at Seattle as just a full stack here. I like pretty much everyone in this lineup. I mean, Cal Raleigh's got 29 home runs against righties. Like, get them in there. I'm looking at multiple different Seattle stacks for you against Dean Kramer. I like Seattle as a stack a little bit more, but I don't think I'm going to have the pitching in this one. If I'm even playing this early slate, I am looking at the bats. I'm going to give the advantage to Seattle, but Baltimore bats have some good numbers against George Kirby. The second game we've got the Phillies at Cincy. Now we've got Ranger Suarez versus Brady Singer. Now we look at this, and Suarez in his career, 65 plate appearances, 182. Those are great numbers. You're going to be paying up for him, but the ball flies out of this ballpark quite easily, and the wind is blowing out in this one. And then you got Brady Singer, 53 plate appearances against Philly, 347 batting average. Personally, I'm looking at Philly as a stack a little bit more. Philly against Singer, Real Muto has a home run, and Max Kepler has 2. Against right-handed pitching, they don't do as well, but I'm still looking at Real Muto batting over 300 with 6 home runs. I'm looking at Max Kepler, who's had success. If he is in there, will be a cheaper outfield option. You got to get Kyle Schwarber in there. I love Kyle Schwarber for the NL MVP, but as long as Shohei's not hurt, it's always going to be him, unfortunately. But Schwarber's making a case. I love Schwarber in this ballpark. Would not be surprised to see multiple different home runs out of him. I'm also adding a little bit of Bryce Harper, Bryson Stott. Like, I love Philly as a stack here. I probably like Philly the biggest stack of this early slate, maybe of all day, especially if that's what you're playing. So I'm looking at a full Philly stack there. Then you got Cincy against Suarez. Like, they really have not had success against him. I think his ownership might be a little bit lower because it is in this ballpark, but I'm going to have a little bit of flyer on him. But again, be very cautious. The ball flies out of here, but they do not hit lefties very well, and they do not, they have not hit Ranger Suarez very much either. So I do like Suarez here. I am a little cautious because of the ballpark, but I do love Philly as a stack today. And then the final game on this early slate, you got Miami at the Guardians. You've got Jansen Junk versus Logan Allen. Junk's never faced the Guardians before. Allen's only faced 6 plate appearances, so we're really not seeing much at all. So we look at this, and Miami against Logan Allen. Again, they haven't seen him. Against left-handed pitching, overall, they don't do as well, but we're still looking. I mean, if I'm taking anyone, Dane Myers, Kyle Stowers, Gustin Ramirez, I don't really like it. I kind of like Logan Allen here. Now, he's very, very hit or miss. I get that. He comes in with a 3.96 ERA. Strikeouts are low per 9. Not getting a ton of strikeouts. I'm a little cautious about this. Like, honestly, I might not even play this early slate. I'm probably more sports bets than DFS for early, but that's kind of where I'm at in this situation. And then Cleveland bats against Junk. Again, they've never seen him. Against righties, Manzardo batting 254. We used him on, I think it was Sunday, and he hit 2 home runs for us. Stephen Kwan batting 289. Schneemann batting 241 with 10 home runs. Like, those would be my 3. Obviously, you're going to put Jose Ramirez in there. Got 19 home runs, batting 274, which is 20-plus points above league average right now. If we're adding any other ones, I don't know. CJ Kayfus would be a cheaper option. Gabriel Arias could be there as well. It really just depends on what you really want to do with this early slate. I absolutely love Philly as a very early stack, though. So that's where the majority of me stacking would come from in that situation. Then we get to the main slate. Now, early on, we got the Twins at the Yankees. It's not confirmed that it's Thomas Hatch, okay? He did last pitch. It would be his turn in the rotation. He started that game, but the problem is he's made just 2 major league starts this season. It says his last performance likely earned him another look. It has not been confirmed yet. He's 4K. So you could always throw him in there because the Yankees have been struggling this year. And he's 4K, but, you got to go 5+ innings to get that dub, even get a chance for it. The Yankees, they need to start hitting better. I don't know what's going on. Thomas Hatch at 4,000, I'm okay with because he is that cheap. I don't love it, though. And then you got Carlos Rodon. He's averaging 19.9 fantasy points a game. On DraftKings, we're looking for an average. Since you have 2 pitchers, we're looking for basically 20 to 30 fantasy points. On FanDuel, we're looking for 40 to 50. 45 would be the range that we'd like. He's obviously had some up and downs here. The past couple of starts have not been ideal. Did have a good game against Philly, a great game against the Cubs, but they've been up and down. So we look at his splits. He obviously has not faced the Twins this year. When he pitches at home, he does have a slight better ERA of 3. He's just looked off. He's 10,200. If I were to take a pitcher in this one, obviously the Yankees, or Carlos Rodon would be the number 1. He's both cash and tournament. And then Thomas Hatch, if he is in fact named the starter. Minnesota is they're not really naming starters till day of, and that's kind of what we look at. So we try to get the first look about the night before once we can get the 10,000 sims in there. That's kind of what we're looking at. So I think Hatch is tournament only strictly because he is so cheap. If I were to look at bats, obviously I'm looking at, I don't know if I want to pay that much for Judge because I don't think he's 100% healthy. I think they rushed him back. He's not looked good for the majority of the games that he has been back. But I would look at Belly. I would look at Jazz. I would look at Stanton. I would look at Rice. Grisham obviously has been dominant. 8th inning or better lately. Maybe Paul Goldschmidt, but he's kind of come back down to earth as well. If I'm looking at Minnesota bats, they do hit lefties better. I would look at Byron Buxton, who is back. I would look at Ryan Jeffers if he gets the start there. He should. I would assume he does. Cody Clemens, Trevor Larnach, Luke Keeschel. Those are the ones that I would mainly focus on in this one. Cubs at Toronto is next. You got Ben Brown versus Jose Barrios. So we look at this, and this is in Toronto, okay? So you got Barrios coming in. Not really done a ton this year. Has not faced the Cubs in his career. 85 plate appearances, giving up a 333 batting average against the Cubs. So not ideal, not the best. When he pitches at home, he does have a worse ERA of 434. And the Cubs have been very good. So if I'm looking at Cubs bats, I'm looking at Seiya Suzuki. I'm looking at PCA for sure. Michael Busch is in there. You always got to get him in there. Kyle Tucker is another one I would look at if I'm looking at 4 bats. Then Ben Brown. Game log wise, I think he's a tournament only option. He comes with a 6.04 ERA. He has not faced Toronto ever. And this year when he's been on the road, he does have a 6.29 ERA. So in that situation, I'm looking at Toronto bats. I'd be looking at Vladdy. I'd be looking at Addison Barger. I'd be looking at Bo Bichette. I'd be looking at Ernie Clement for sure. Those would be the 4 that I would focus on. To be honest, we just have other pitching options today. I'm probably not looking at the pitching in this one. I'm probably looking at the bats. I do give the slight advantage to the Cubs. But again, Toronto obviously is in first place. They've been hitting well this year. That's kind of what I would look at. Atlanta at New York Mets is next. You got Spencer Strider versus Clay Holmes. And if you've been with us for the past month or so, Clay Holmes is one of those where I still don't believe he's a starter, like a legit starter. He has gone 5 innings. He's in the majority of his starts, okay? He's also given up earned runs in every single start since 4/26, so April 26th. Against Cleveland, 16.85. Obviously, that's not at 7,800, or he was 7,300. That was okay. He's pitching at home, which is a pitcher's ballpark, but the Mets have struggled since the trade deadline. Same with the Yankees. Splits-wise, he's faced Atlanta twice this year. He's averaged 10.8, which is not ideal. 1-1 record, 9.2 innings, 4 earned runs, 10 walks to only 7 Ks. I do not like that. I do not like those numbers. None of those stand out to me and like, oh, let's use Clay Holmes. Now, the difference between me and other DFS providers, I will let you know if I'm right or wrong. Now, Clay Holmes could go out and shove. I do not trust him. I am not paying $7,800 for him. He's got, again, we got to get a minimum of 20 fantasy points, and he's not come close. Spencer Strider, on the other hand, against the Mets, in his career, 148 plate appearances, obviously been in this division and has faced them. 264 batting average, 27.7 K percentage. He has actually had 3 straight starts of kind of doo-doo. And then you got 26 and 29, which is great. 1 against the Yankees, 1 against the Athletics. Splits-wise, 2-2, or he's 2-0 against the Mets this year. He's averaging 24.8 against the Mets, 11 innings, 4 earned runs, 16 strikeouts. They have struggled. So if I were to take a pitcher, it would be Spencer Strider. Now, if I were to look at the bats in this situation, I would lean more towards the Braves. Now, I know the Braves offense has been very atrocious this year, much more than the Mets. But if I'm looking at Braves bats against Holmes, like Drake Baldwin has a home run, that is it for home runs. But against righties this year, they haven't been like the best, but Michael Harris, I would get in there. I would look at Matt Olson with 15 home runs. I would look at Marcell Ozuna with 16. And if you want to go a little bit crazier, like Drake Baldwin, 287 batting average with 10 home runs, I could definitely see you getting in that situation. Another one might be a cheaper option, either Jurickson Profar or Eli White. Now, if we look at the Mets bats against Strider, in their career, Alvarez has a home run, Alonso has 1, and then Brandon Nimmo has 2. But against righties, I mean, they are hitting righties very well this year. So if I were to not take Strider, because everyone's going to see the numbers and be like, oh, well, he's done very well against them, let's go with that. Alvarez, or Pete Alonso with 19 home runs, 287 batting average, I would look at him. I'm sneaking up on Ronnie Mauricio, be a cheaper option, because everyone's going to be on Lindor, everyone's going to be on Soto. Great numbers, like Soto batting 262 with 22 home runs. Like, we look at that, and those are great numbers. Obviously, people are going to be on the Soto, they're going to be on the Lindor, but I'm looking at Ronnie Mauricio as well. I don't mind Starling Marte for a cheaper option. And if you want to get a little bit different, Cedric Mullins, I don't know if he'll get the start. They have so many outfield options, though. If Cedric Mullins is in there, I do like Mullins a little bit as well. But through 10,000 sims, I am leaning more towards taking Spencer Strider over. I won't have any Clay Holmes. I'll just put it that way. Detroit at the White Sox is next. We've got Jack Flaherty. So it's not been confirmed, I don't believe. Let's see. It's not been confirmed that it is Vassell. He last pitched 8-8, so it wouldn't really be his turn in the rotation. He pitched, well, technically it would. Or no, it wouldn't. Game log wise, 3.2. He's not gone deep. You're not going with him. It's not even been confirmed yet. But it would be Detroit bats. Flaherty's one that I haven't been able to put my, like, who is he? Like, 1.1 and then 2 starts of 22 plus, 1 against Philly, which makes no sense, 1 against Detroit, that makes no sense. And then in Pittsburgh, he struggled. Seattle was okay. Tampa Bay, he did well. He has faced Chicago White Sox twice this year. He is 2-0, 11.2 innings, 2 earned runs, and 11 Ks. So I would take Flaherty, and then I would take the Detroit stack. So depending on who the pitcher is for Chicago White Sox, I would look at Riley Green. I would look at Spencer Torkelson. I would look at Glaber, be my top 3. And then depending on who it is, maybe Dylan Dingler. And again, it's contingent on who the Chicago White Sox pitcher is, whether or not it's a lefty or a righty. But once it has been 100% confirmed, that is when we update the simulations. That is when we update the projections and get those out to you. So whoever it is, I will take Flaherty, probably tournament only. I don't know. He's 9,200 for his ERA. Kind of, I don't know if that's cash wise, but I would take Flaherty, and then I would take Detroit as a stack. Pittsburgh at Milwaukee is next. It should be a great showdown. It's got Paul Skeens versus Freddie Peralta. I'm looking at both of them. I'm not looking at the bats in this one. I'm looking even with. Now, they could both be out early, and then it's the bullpen. But starting pitching wise, obviously Skeens is 1-1. I think Freddie Peralta is 1-2. Like, Pirates offense, for the majority of his starts, they have not given him a run support. I love Freddie Peralta here. 143 plate appearances against Pirates, 258 batting average, 30.1 K percentage. And then Skeens, 45 plate appearances, 116 batting average. Give me both of the pitchers. You're not going to be able to afford both of them, obviously, in the same lineup, but you can mix and match, and that's kind of what I would go with in this situation. I love the situation there, and I'm not looking at the bats right now. So give me both of the pitchers, but you're going to have to find those stacks without it. Rockies at the Washington at Kansas City is next. We've got Mitchell Parker, who we have stacked against the majority of his starts this year. And then you got Michael Wacha. Neither of them I really want anything to do with pitching-wise. I would rather go the bats in this situation. Now, the early projections have Kansas City as a pretty damn good stack here. So the bats I would look for against him, Kansas City-wise, Pasquantino, Bobby Witt Jr., Perez, Jonathan India. Those would be my top 4. Washington bats that I would look at, C.J. Abrams, James Wood. I would look a little bit at Nate Lowe. And then just depending on which other one. I did forget Mike Yastrzemski is also now in Kansas City, so I could see him going in there. Another Washington bat, Josh Bell. Cheaper option if you don't want to pay up for, James Wood or C.J. Abrams. Maybe Brady House. Again, I don't know if he'll get the start, but his name is floated around there, and that's what I would look at. So I want nothing to do with the pitching in the Washington and Kansas City game. I do want the bats. I do give the advantage to I and the simulations give the advantage to Kansas City right now. So we got Colorado at St. Louis as the next game up. Now, I will tell you, I will be in St. Louis to watch the Yankees at the Cardinals. The inclusive seats. Never been to this stadium before, so I can mark this off my list of stadium visits. I will have content through Friday. The content will be out probably pretty early Friday. Won't be able to make any updates or changes. That being said, there won't be videos Saturday, Sunday, and I don't know if there'll be FTA Plus content for the weekend. If there is not, if you do have a subscription to FTA Plus or you get a subscription to FTA Plus, if or when you cancel and it ends, email me and I will add 2 days to it. I just don't know what the internet situation is. And I've said that in every single video, and I'm going to say that in every single video until the weekend passes. I am going to take my computer just in case. I cannot guarantee anything, so I wanted to bring that to your attention. But we do have rain concern. But we got Matt Liberatore versus Kyle Freeland. Liberatore, we did not take him in his last start, and we stacked the Dodgers against him. He didn't give up a ton. He only gave up 2 earned runs and only 1 strikeout. He really has not done much. I thought the Dodgers would put up more against him, and they let us down. But I'm still not using him. Even against Colorado, you could throw him in tournaments, but I'm not going to. And then Kyle Freeland comes in with a 5.53 ERA. We have not used him once this year. He did well against Miami. Splits-wise, he has not faced them. Pitches on the road. He's got a better ERA, but it's still 4.75. So I would still look at the bats in this one. I would not look at pitching. So if I were to go and stack either side, I'm probably looking at both sides. I think obviously the Cardinals stack makes more sense because how historically bad Colorado is this year. But if I'm taking Cardinals bats against Freeland, like Herrera does have a home run, Nootbaar has a home run as well. Against lefties, they're not doing very good this year, but I'm still looking at Wilson Contreras. I'm still probably looking at Alec Burleson, Ivan Herrera, be my top 3 there. You could go cheaper like a Mason Wynn or a Thomas Sagasi, possibly. Then Colorado against Liberatore, like Brenton Doyle has a home run. Against lefties this year, not ideal, but I would still look at Hunter Goodman. I would still look at Jordan Beck. I would take a look at Brenton Doyle as well. Batted 333 with 4 home runs and 93 at bats. So that's what I would look at here. But the point might be moot after, the end. The game could get rained out. So monitor the weather situation going forward. We do have a weather tab on the cheat sheet, like I think I mentioned that earlier. So you got the next game. We've got Arizona at Texas. You got Anthony Desclafani versus Jack Leiter. So Jack Leiter coming off a game against the Yankees, 7.3. Like, he's been up and down too. Arizona, he's never faced them before. When he pitches at home, he's got a 3.60 ERA, so it's a little bit better. I don't really want either of these. pitchers, really. DeSclafani coming in. He's only 6,000, but he's averaging 7.5. Did have a decent start against San Diego, but that's basically it. I'm probably looking at the bats. I don't trust the pitching in it. I don't trust the offense for Texas, but I trust them better than both of the pitchers. We'll just put it that way. Now, Arizona's obviously traded away pretty much everyone on their team this year. But if I'm looking at Arizona against them, never faced him, but against righties, Ketel Marte batting .315 with 16 home runs. I would look at him. Corbin Carroll hits home runs, got 20, also steals bases. He would be my number 2. My number 3 against this one, it could be Alek Thomas. I think he'll be a cheaper option going forward in this game. And then Texas, Jock Peterson batting .538 and 13 at-bats with 3 home runs. And then Corey Seager has a home run against him. So I'm looking at those two. I know Jock has been very bad this year. I get that. I would look at those two because he just had success against him. Wyatt Langford's another one. Adolis Garcia. I'm looking at a full Texas stack against Diamondback. So I'm all in on a Texas Rangers stack against Anthony DeSclafani. Put Josh Young in there. Jonah Heim is another one. So I am looking at pretty much the entire Texas Rangers offense. Let's wait for the lineup to come out. Maybe target batters 1 through 5, 1 through 6. Texas just feels like one of those where I like so many of the guys on this team. It might be a 2+ stack type day against DeSclafani. Boston at Houston is the next game. You got Dustin May versus Spencer Arrighetti. You got Mr. Spaghetti. Dustin May has struggled this year. He's almost got a 5 ERA, coming off a bad start against Kansas City. Yeah. He's already faced... Has he faced them this year? He has not faced Houston this year. Now, you can't really do his home and away stats, 7.09 ERA, so technically you could do away because he is on the road. He's going into Houston. I am stacking Houston. Arrighetti comes in. He's had 1 good start this year. 3 starts total. Has not gone deep into those games, giving up 5 earned runs in both of these last 2 starts. And by that, I mean he came back off the IL. He had 4 months in between. He's given up 5 earned runs in those 2 starts. And then his first start of the year, he did very well. I do not trust him. Boston, I'm looking at stacks. I'm stacking. This is just one of those games where we're 100% stacking. The over-under is 8.5. I don't see how it doesn't go over. Okay? So I'm looking for the over in that one. And if I'm looking for the over in that one, I like both stacks. So if I'm looking at Boston bats against Arrighetti, Yoshida does have a home run. Probably not using him, but I would use Duran. I would use Wilyer Abreu. I would use Rafaela. Bregman back in Houston. I'll take me some Bregman in Houston. And then if we need a 5th one to complete a full stack here, probably Carlos Narvaez. He could take Arrighetti deep into those short porches, left field porch seats, and dump one in there. Houston bats against Dustin May. Trammell is the only one with a home run. They don't hit righties as well, but I don't trust Dustin May whatsoever. I am looking at stacking. So Altuve at home, I'll take that little midget. Jesus Sanchez, 283 batting average. I'd look at him. Look at Christian Walker. I'd look at Carlos Correa, and I would look at Jeremy Pena as well. So full stack on this, full send it. I think it hits over 8.5 easy in this one. Then we got the Dodgers at the Angels. We got Emmett Sheehan versus Tyler Anderson. Now, the Angels strike out the most out of any team. Sheehan's one of those where he's had a good game against the Cardinals. Got 3 ERA. He's got to get those 5 innings, though. It's very 5 innings. It's been hard for him to get there. I mean, the pitches, they're not letting him go very long. They're not going. He hasn't thrown more than 80 pitches, and that was back on July 6th. In his career, he's never faced the Angels. When he pitches on the road, he does have a 2.08 ERA, so he has been better on the road. So that's definitely something to take into consideration if you were building out this way. And then you got Tyler Anderson. In his career against the Dodgers, 85 plate appearances, 304 batting average, only 14.1 K percentage. He really has not hit value since July 1st. He hit 23.9 in that one. And outside of that, he's faced the Dodgers once this year, 5 innings, 400 runs, 4 Ks. He got 6.4. If I'm taking a pitcher, it is Sheehan in this one. I just do not trust. I don't trust Tyler Anderson. But Sheehan, if he doesn't go 5 innings, it goes to the bullpen, and that bullpen has been known to give up runs this year as well. So that's where you got to look. Like you can see, that's why Like the Angels bullpen is bad. I would be looking to stack against them. Dodgers bullpen, it's worse. Like you can just see what they've done, the ERAs on them. It's crazy numbers. So Dodgers against Anderson. Mookie Betts has a home run. Freeman has a home run. Pages and Ohtani both have home runs. And then Max Muncy has 2 against left-handed pitching this year. Teoscar Hernandez batting .316 with 6 home runs. Ohtani batting almost .300 with 10 home runs. I'll look at those 2. Is Teoscar back? Let me just double check. He is back. Okay. So yeah, I would look at Teoscar Hernandez in there as well. I would look at Mookie Betts. He struggled a little bit. I would look at Will Smith. Like a full Dodger stack make a ton of sense. I don't see any situation or scenario that I'm using Tyler Anderson whatsoever. If you don't want to go Sheehan because maybe you don't think he goes deep into the games and you want to go LA bats or Angels bats, they do hit righties well. I would look at Luis Rengifo. I would look at Zach Neto leading off. I would look at Mike Trout a little bit, Taylor Ward. Like all of these make sense. A couple cheaper options. Shanawell. You could look at Campero. I don't know if he gets the start though. Maybe a little bit of Logan O'Hoppe if he gets to start behind the dish. All of that. But d'Arnaud, you know what? d'Arnaud hits lefties generally. Like when he was with the Braves, and the Mets, we were taking d'Arnaud against lefties, and it seemed like every single night he hit a home run against a lefty. I'm not calling it, but I'm not calling it, guys. d'Arnaud, if he gets the start, I think he'll be a cheap option. Let's see how cheap he is. 3,100. I don't mind him. Don't put a lot of money into it, but I got that inkling, guys. That little inkling in the back of my mind. Sometimes it's all you need. Okay, we got San Diego at San Francisco next. You got Robbie Ray versus Nestor Cortez. This is a massive ballpark. It's San Francisco. Robbie Ray obviously is the better pitcher here. He's 9,700. Facing San Diego. In his career, 87 plate appearance, 250 batting average against them. This year, he's faced them once, 7 innings, 2 earned runs, 9 Ks. He had 30.8 fantasy points. Both of these ballparks are pitchers' ballparks, so I do like him. And he's under 10K, so I do like that. Then you got Nestor Cortez. He's made 1 start with them. Surprising trade. Surprising start. Didn't go 5 innings. Didn't do much. In his career, 54 plate appearances against San Francisco, 280 batting average. Struck out 38.9% of those batters. I just don't think Nestor's got it. I'd rather look at the bats. I'm going to give the advantage probably to Robbie Ray on the mound and then San Francisco bats. But we can look at both of the bats or both of the teams to stack if that's what you want to go with. So San Diego against Ray. Bogarts has a home run. Manny Machado has 3. And then Ramon Laureano has 1. Against lefties this year. Not doing very well. I think I'd take Machado because he does have double-digit home runs. And he's just had success against Robbie Ray. Bogarts batting .299 with 2 home runs I would look at. Probably Laureano. We usually took him against lefties no matter if he was on the A's or in Baltimore or wherever he was in his career. But I still like Robbie Ray more. San Francisco against Cortez. Devers has 2 home runs. Chapman has 2 home runs. Schmidt has a home run and Elliot Ramos has a home run. So yeah, they don't do as well against lefties this year, but Jung Ho Lee I would look at for sure. I would look at Chapman. I would look at Devers. I would look at Ramos. And if I'm full stacking, maybe Casey Schmidt. Take the ones that have had success against him. Just, I think it gets to the bullpen early for San Diego. And then that is it. So if we look at the bullpen, like San Diego's bullpen, it's been pretty good. So that's the only problem. It has been good. You can see the numbers. You do have the outlier of Matsui with 5.02 ERA. And then Miller, 3.80 ERA since coming over, but you're not going to see him until the 9th. So I think I give the advantage to San Francisco bats, and I think I give the advantage to Robbie Ray in that situation. And then the final game, we've got Tampa Bay at the Athletics. Again, with the weather, the wind is blowing out. You got Boz versus Lopez. I want nothing to do with that. I'm going 100% bats. The over-under is 9.5, and I see it hitting. Caminero has a home run against him. That is it. Against lefties, they don't hit lefties as well, but the way the wind's been going, I do not trust Jacob Lopez. Lopez comes in with a 3.59 ERA. He's already faced Tampa Bay once this year. 8.1 earned runs per 9, 13.5 hits. They just hit him. And then Shane did face them before. You can maybe go Shane for tournament pitching, but I think I'd rather just stick with the bats in this one. So Tampa Bay, Chandler Simpson, I think I got to get him in there just for his speed. Cameron Arrow makes sense. Probably. That's the thing. Like Yandy Diaz, they don't do as well against lefties. So you could throw Lopez in there, but he's already been lit up by them before. And then the Athletics against Baz, Langeliers has a home run. That is it. But against righties this year, Nick Kurtz has 19, batting 351. Soderstrom batting 270 with 18. Lawrence Butler 247 with 12. Like, I'm looking at those three. Langeliers obviously makes a ton of sense as well. We've got Langeliers batting 240 with 18 home runs as well. So there you have it. That is the early and the main slates both completed. It is now time for our matchup tool. These are all the batters that have 10 out of 10 matchup rating. There's actually not that many through 10,000 sims. Very surprised by that, but it does love Kansas City early. So number 1 is Bobby Witt Jr. Number 2 is Mookie Betts. 3 is Wilson Contreras. 4 is Alec Burleson. 5 is Vinny Pasquantino. 6 is Sal Perez. 7 is Jonathan India. 8, Max Muncy. 9, Juan Soto. 10, Brendan Donovan if he plays. 11 is Randall Grichuk. 12, Brenton Doyle. 13, Pete Alonso. 14, Geraldo Perdomo. 15, Jurickson Profar. And 16 is Mason Wynn versus Kyle Freeland. So we got 16. The record is 38. Probably will never beat that, but you really never know. So now we're going to do pitchers be crazy. So what this is we look at the bottom 5 teams that strike out the most, and then the pitchers going against them. So number 1 is Emmett Sheehan at the Angels. The Angels strike out 9.72 times per game, 9.65 at home. Number 2 is Matt Liberatore versus Colorado. Colorado strikes out 9.49 times per game, 9.9 on the road. Number 3 is Spencer Arrighetti versus Boston. Boston strikes out 8.95 times per game, 10.21 on the road. Number 4 is Dean Kramer versus Seattle. Seattle strikes out 8.92 times per game, 8.81 on the road. And finally, whoever the White Sox pitcher is, it has not been confirmed yet, versus Detroit. Detroit strikes out 8.79 times per game, 9 times on the road. I am not looking at that White Sox pitcher. I'm probably not looking at Spencer Arrighetti. And I'm probably not looking at Dean Kramer. So we are looking at those, but don't necessarily mean you have to take them. And those are not the pitchers that we like. Like, those are just going on paper against the teams that strike out the most. So now we're going to do our Makin Bacon segment. So these are going to be batters and pitchers that we like, whether or not you want to take them. These are ones I would target. So whether or not you want to target them for, extra base hits, like 2+ bases, 1+ hit, 1+ RBI, 2+ runs batted, RBIs, whatever you want to take, these are the batters that I would focus on. The main stadiums with the wind and the weather, I would look at Philly for sure. I'm looking at Philly. I'm looking at Chicago Cubs, like we've talked about, and Kansas City Royals are the ones that I'm mainly focusing on early. But these are the batters I would look at. Bobby Witt Jr., number 1. Alec Burleson, number 2. Pete Crow Armstrong, 3. Vinny Pasquantino, 4. Sal Perez, 5. Mookie Betts, 6. Wilson Contreras, 7. Bryce Harper, 8. Kyle Schwarber, 9. And then finally, 10. I am focused and looking at Michael Busch versus Jose Barrios. So those are just 10. If you want to see even more, we've got them on the site. Again, you could look at them for home runs, but don't just, those are parlay bets that don't parlay all of them together. You can look at some of them. And then pitchers and strikeouts. Here's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at Paul Skeens, 6+ strikeouts. The only problem with that is they are notorious for pulling him after 5 innings regardless. So that's always something to look at, but you could look at him for 6 strikeouts. Spencer Strider, I would look at 6 to 7 strikeouts against the Mets, especially in that ballpark. 3 is Freddie Peralta. I would look at 6. It's probably 6 to 7 strikeouts against Pittsburgh, depending on what book you use, if they have the alt line. Some don't have alt strikeouts, which is weird. But yeah, they don't. I don't know why. Ranger Suarez against the Reds. I would look at 5+ strikeouts for him. The problem is this ballpark does scare me. The wind and the weather scare me that he might not make it deep into the game, deep enough to get you 5+ strikeouts. So that's what I've got in this video. If you guys found it helpful and useful, hit that like button. The keyword of the day is tea. I'm looking for different iced teas, different brands. I'm not opposed to sweet anymore. I used to always be opposed to it, but I found like pure leaf sweet and I enjoy it. So get it in there. Let me know what you guys enjoy. And yeah, that's what I've got. Come back tomorrow for your Wednesday slate. Normally on the Wednesday slate, it is like split up on like a normal week. The slate for Wednesdays, it's like the majority of early. It doesn't look too. Yeah, it's pretty early. It's kind of split actually in the middle. So it's definitely something to look at. But come back tomorrow. Don't forget, watch if you want to help out the channel. Watch the video multiple times. Watch it in its entirety a couple of times. Make sure you get that keyword in there. Make sure you get that comment in this video. Do not spam the comments. YouTube will flag them, and unless I see it, it's flagged. If you do multiple of the same comments, it will flag it, and the comment picker will not pick it up. So that being said, good luck today, and as always, you guys know what to do.